Welcome to Factopia. Today we're diving into one of the most fascinating plots in ancient history. And no, this isn't a Netflix drama, though it absolutely could be. This is the true story of the pharaoh who ruled Egypt as a man, while actually being a woman. That's right. Buckle up. Because the ancient world was way more dramatic than anything Hollywood could write. Let's talk about Hatshepsut, the woman who said, "Pharaoh, sure, I'll take that job," and then proceeded to run Egypt so well that historians still talk about her today. But before we get to the beard, the fake beard, yes, we need to understand how she got there. Hatshepsut was born around 1507 BCE, daughter of Pharaoh Thutmose I. She wasn't just royal, she was super royal, the ancient Egyptian equivalent of, "my dad owns the company." When she grew up, she married her half-brother, Thutmose II. Yes, half-brother. Don't question it. Ancient royalty treated family trees like spaghetti. Anyway, when her husband died young, Egypt had a problem. The next pharaoh, Thutmose III, was just a child, basically a toddler with a crown. So Hatshepsut stepped in as regent, meaning she ruled on his behalf. At first, this was normal, but then Hatshepsut said, "Why stop at regent?" and took the full title of pharaoh, the highest position in Egypt, which traditionally was reserved for men. Here comes the fun part. To be accepted, she literally reinvented herself visually as a man. She wore the traditional pharaoh's kilt, the ceremonial headdress, and yes, the iconic false beard. Imagine putting on a beard every day like it's part of your morning routine. She even referred to herself with male pronouns in inscriptions, not because she wanted to be a man, but because that's what the job required in the eyes of the people. But don't get it twisted, Hatshepsut didn't need a beard to prove she could rule. She ran Egypt like a boss. Her reign, which lasted around 22 years, was one of the most peaceful and prosperous periods in Egyptian history. While other pharaohs went to war, Hatshepsut went shopping, literally. She focused on trade, economics, and big construction projects. Her most famous achievement, the incredible mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari, a massive, stunning structure built into a cliffside, so beautiful that even today people visit and go, okay, she had taste. She also ordered new obelisks, including some of the tallest Egypt had ever seen. And she reopened major trade routes, bringing in exotic goods like ginger, incense, leopard skins, ebony, gold, and even live animals. Basically, she turned Egypt into the ancient world's Amazon Prime. Now here's where the story gets even more interesting. After Hatshepsut died, around 1458 BCE, her stepson Thutmose III finally took over, and for reasons still debated by historians, he later tried to erase her from history, like literally erase her, chiseled her name off monuments, smashed statues, removed images, basically an ancient version of delete from all social media accounts. Why? Possibly to protect the idea of male-only rule, or maybe he was bitter. Hard to know. He waited until the end of his long reign, so maybe one day he just went, okay, now it's time to delete Hatshepsut's browser history. But here's the twist. It didn't work. Hatshepsut left too much behind. Her buildings stood tall, her obelisks were too massive to remove, and eventually archaeologists rediscovered her story in the 19th century. Today she's remembered as one of Egypt's greatest rulers, not just the pharaoh who disguised herself, but a woman who proved she didn't need to fit the mold to lead an empire. And let's not forget how bold her move was. Ancient Egypt was rigid about roles. Pharaohs were men. Queens were supportive figures. And women generally didn't rule. But Hatshepsut said, "I'll break that rule and build a temple while I'm at it." She challenged tradition, reshaped the idea of power, and pulled it off successfully for more than 2 decades. Even her images were genius. In early sculptures, she appears as a woman wearing royal clothes. But, as time went on, she is depicted as a fully male pharaoh, broad shoulders, muscular chest, and that iconic beard. But archaeologists can still identify her statues because the body is male, but the face is unmistakably feminine. It's the ancient equivalent of saying, you can dress me however you want, but you still know who's in charge. Her name meant foremost of noble ladies, and she lived up to it. She wasn't pretending to be a man, she was using what the culture required to get the job done. And honestly, she did it better than many who came before or after. So, the next time you hear someone say history is boring, feel free to tell them about the woman who became pharaoh, wore a fake beard, ruled like a legend, and then had her whole existence nearly erased. You can't make this stuff up. Thanks for watching Factopia. If you love uncovering wild stories from history like this one, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps our channel grow and keeps us bringing you more incredible stories from the world's past. See you in the next adventure through history.